Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. It is Memorial Day. What an appropriate day to talk about working, huh? And by the way, I got my mug today. I'll show you my mug. That's my mug. Hey, what's going on, Richard? What's going on, James? It's May Bank Holiday here in the UK. What is May Bank Holiday? I have not heard of that. I don't know that. James says good morning. I appreciate that, James. Guys, if you're new here, I go live every day to help you guys start, run, and grow online businesses. So do me a favor, if you would subscribe. Hit that subscribe button there. I think we're at 5,023 subscribers this morning. And I know it was a big battle to get to 5,000. My next goal, I think James said it for me, was at 10,000. So we're trying to get to 10,000, so please subscribe. Don't subscribe if you're not going to watch videos, though. I don't need that. Only need people who are interested in doing something. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. I would really appreciate that. And I'm going to talk about working on Memorial Day today. This is something that you could really get an argument started over, right? And I want to prefix this whole thing with this. Whatever you decide to do is okay. Whatever you decide to do is okay. I'm not telling you you should or shouldn't work on any holiday anywhere, okay? It's different for everybody. You essentially control your life and what you want to do. And because you do or don't work on a particular day doesn't mean you're a good or bad person or anything like that. It's just, your choice to do that. I did a little bit of research, and I want to share with you guys what some companies are doing. I think you're going to find it interesting what some companies do in the U.S. This is U.S. Numbers, so if you're outside the U.S., it'll obviously be different because you don't have Memorial Day, right? It wouldn't even apply to you. But I do deal with a lot of people in a lot of different countries, India, Pakistan, and Philippines for the most part, who I have permanent employees that work there. And I know the Philippines, gosh, has more holidays than any country I've ever seen. And they take all those holidays. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you a fact. I mean, that's just what it is. I choose to work today. I chose to work today. And it was funny because my wife last night, she says, "Are you going to do a live tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, why wouldn't I?" She says, "Well, it's Memorial Day." So I had forgotten about it, though I don't forget about the veterans and all the people we honor. I really don't. My heart goes out to them, and my gratitude goes out to them too for all they've done. But as far as working, I don't think it hurts anybody if I work. I don't think it hurts anybody if I don't work. And I don't necessarily say I'm going to work all day long, but then again, I don't work all day long every day. Some days I work until midnight or 1 a.m. Some days I stop at 3 in the afternoon. I mean, it's whatever I decide to do, and it's not right or wrong. It's just what I decide to do. So when you listen to this video today, don't take it that you have to do one thing or another, because you don't. It's your life. You can do whatever you want. If you're not hurting somebody else, you can do whatever you want. Okay, we got to stop going, "Oh my gosh, I got to do what everybody else does because everybody else is doing this." Doesn't matter what everybody else does. It's irrelevant. It really is what you do with your time on the face of this earth, okay, because you have a limited amount of time. Let's see. Bank holiday, Richard Brown says, originates when banks shut for an extra day. It's classed as a national holiday. Okay, all right, but does it actually, honor any particular thing, or is it just a day? I'm kind of curious about that. Most of our days or holidays in the U.S., we're honoring a person or a thing or an event, something like that. Just kind of curious if that means anything there, Richard, and what that means. But let me get into some of the information I pulled up for you guys. I think you're going to find this stuff pretty darn interesting. I really do. I found it interesting anyhow. The first thing I'll share with you is 40% of companies still require at least some of their employees to work on a holiday. 40%. Now, this is the U.S., okay? This is the U.S. saying that 40%. So, you're not going to be alone. If you are working on a holiday, you ain't the only one there. That's for sure. And I think it has a lot to do with your job too. It's like, around Christmas time or all of that, a lot of retail workers have to work a lot more hours when a lot of people don't, because they're servicing that holiday. Memorial Day, you're not really servicing a holiday, but you'll find things like home center stores and do-it-yourself stores and all that are all going to be open because people do stuff on this Memorial Day. They work on the yard, they barbecue outside, they do all these different things. Now, although 97% of employers have designated, 97% of the U.S. have designated Memorial Day as a paid day off. Here's the kicker. More than 40% of the companies still require at least some of the employees to work. So 97% of the companies are going, yeah, it's a paid day off, but you know what? 40% of you guys, you got to work. You got to work. So they're doing that. Along with Christmas, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving, Labor Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day is one of the 6 paid holidays off for nearly all U.S. workers. So almost all U.S. workers are going to get that paid day off. Okay, but still 40% of companies require some people to work on the holiday. Now I'm choosing to do it because I don't want to let you guys down. I want to give you information that you can use today. And I'm also going to talk about in a second, if you do have people working for you on Memorial Day, some of the things you should do. Now in the Philippines, I give off my employees all holidays. You get all holidays off, I still pay you. And it's because, not that I believe you should have all those holidays off, it's because that's what the norm is in the Philippines. In the Philippines, they normally have those days off. And I don't want to be an employer that says, no, I'm in the U.S., so you've got to go by U.S. rules. No, I'm employing in the Philippines, so I need to go by the Filipino rules. Now, when you're employing people online, I think you need to look at the country and you need to respect whatever the norms are, okay? You need to respect whatever the norms are. No more than I would say to my Filipino employees, well, you're off on Memorial Day. Well, because it doesn't mean anything to them. But I can't ignore the fact that they have certain holidays. So if you're an employer, the first thing I'm going to tell you is respect the norms of that country 100% of the time. You're going to be respected more as an individual if you do that, okay? Because it is their norms, okay? It's not your norm, but it's their norm, okay? So that's something I would tell you. Now, along with all these other holidays we have, okay, most federal holidays, while most Americans receive a paid day off, some will be required to punch the clock. Okay, some of them are going to be required to go in, and I just mentioned that. Particularly technical workers and public safety, security personnel. These things are still needed. I mean, we can't let our police and fire department have off on Memorial Day. We can't do it. Okay, it's not possible. My son and his wife work in a hospital. They work in the cardiac unit, and they can't say, well, everybody gets off that day, because there's still sick patients. So understand there's a lot of jobs out there that, ignore holidays. They have to, because they've got to continue to keep going. The electric company, you got to still have electricity, your water company, there's still got to be some people working there. There's a lot of jobs that require transportation, okay? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Uber drivers out there, taxi drivers out there. Buses still operate. All these things are still going on a holiday. And I think a lot of times if we're in a job that doesn't require you to be there, you forget about that. So the first thing I would do is I would respect anybody who's working on Memorial Day. I mean, we'll give you props, okay? A lot of respect for you. I choose to do it because what else would I do this morning? I don't know, sit around, watch YouTube videos. So I might as well contribute to, my people out there and give them something they can use. Now, a new study that just came out revealed that 20% of businesses have at least some of their technical staff working on Memorial Day. So if you're technical, 20% chance you're going to have to work. 15% of the businesses say they have security and public safety workers doing the same. Okay, still required of that. Now, in addition to that, there's 13% of organizations that will have professional employees working. 12% will have managers on the clock. I think that's kind of funny. You got fewer managers. And 11% make service and maintenance personnel report for duty. Just 10% of businesses will have sales and customer service employees working on Monday. Now, that's going to, fly in the face of the fact that things like, some of these big department stores like Best Buy and all that, they have huge sales today. So they're going to have people working. Matter of fact, when I got up this morning, I was immediately hit by sales ads. Okay, I immediately got sales ads. Let's see. James did say loud and clear. 77. Yeah, I didn't share weather with you, James. I looked at it, and I'm trying to remember what the heck it was. because I briefly looked at it. Originates, let's see. I'm 74 and cloudy today. We're not going to have good weather in May and June. We're just not. I mean, that's just the way it is in San Diego. It does warm up a little bit tomorrow. Gets in the mid 70s, which is nice. But man, that's pretty much that's as high as we're going to get. It's cool for us here. So let's look at this. I guess it's good news for people, who work on holidays because their paychecks are normally going to be a little bit larger. The research I came across discovered that 85% of companies that have employees that work on Memorial Day provide them with some type of extra benefit. Now, I don't get an extra benefit today, but I'm not supposed to, okay? Because a lot of days I get an extra benefit a lot of other people don't get. I maybe make more money than the average person. I maybe have more, control over my time and all that. So I think if you're a business owner, you're going to look at this entirely different because your business is your baby. Okay, my survival food company, my training business where I teach people how to make money online, these are my babies. I can't leave them alone. I can't let them starve for a day, right? I've got to be there for them. I know I have, Richard says it's 67 and sunny there. Okay, so it's still cooler in the UK there too, Richard. That's interesting. So you got weather like we've got in San Diego right now, a little bit in the lower temperatures. But I've got to watch over stuff, okay? Like I was working on a funnel yesterday. My small can funnel is coming out. It's going to start tomorrow morning. My wife and I were working on it late Sunday night, last night. But see, there was a lot of people off Sunday night. They were just watching TV, not doing anything. We watched some TV. We worked on stuff. We don't have a set schedule. We just know that there's certain stuff that has to get done. Today, she wants to paint a bench. So, this morning she'll get up and she won't do anything in the office. She'll go out and paint a bench. That's what she wants to do. That's fine. As long as, she and I get our stuff done, we don't really have a schedule. I'm not a schedule person. I don't necessarily like a schedule. However, I force myself into a schedule every day to do these videos because I think that's what I owe you guys is so that you have a schedule, something you can look forward to, something you can watch. So you're going to get some type of extra benefit. Now, specifically, 28% will give time and a half pay. So if you look at the US, 28% are going to give you 1.5 times what your normal pay is. 20% will provide extra pay and compensatory time, and 15% will pay double time or double time and a half. Double time and a half. Okay, so if you're working like my son does, where he works in a hospital and they get pretty good pay, he'd make a lot of money, but he's not. He's on vacation right now in Florida, so he's not making that big money. Let's see. Mid 70s is great, James says. Yeah, I think so. Richard Brown, when it needs doing, do it. Here you go. Here you go, right? When it needs doing, do it. And that's what we do. If stuff needs to get done, we just get it done. I just looked at my phone while I was talking to you guys, and I glanced down and somebody put a ticket in because they can't find their order. Okay, so we can't ignore that person. We've got to answer that person. We got to say, hey, let me check on this order for you. We're 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, essentially. Now, obviously, I don't work when I'm asleep, but I have people that are working while I'm asleep. Things are getting done, which is just kind of interesting. Now, here's another interesting fact. Large companies are the most likely to have workers on the clock on Monday. So the bigger the company, the more likely you are. And it makes sense, right? Because you employ more people. But those are the ones that you're going to see that has the workers coming in. There's another study that shows 80% of businesses with more than 1,000 employees, that is not me, I don't employ 1,000 people, thank God I wouldn't want to do that, will have at least some of their employees work on Memorial Day, compared with just 31% of small businesses. And it makes sense, they employ more people, so you're going to be looking at more different jobs than that. That study was based on a survey of 100 human resource professionals. So that's where that information came from. Now, here's an interesting other fact that you may think is interesting. The Society for Human Resources Management conducted a similar survey on holiday schedules. Here's what they found. They found that while 90% or more of companies close on major holidays, some organizations will remain open. Major holidays include New Year's Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, Memorial Day, and none of these holidays matter to other countries. This is just U.S. stuff. So your country has your own holidays, and that's fine. The bigger takeaway from the study really was that companies are treating employees who have to work on major holidays. They're giving them something extra, okay? 57% said that their company offers some kind of financial incentive to employees who work on holidays. So that's kind of nice, right? Of those organizations, 40% pay double time, 21% pay time and a half, and 19% pay overtime. Now this is a separate study from the one I just told you, and 21% have some other type of pay arrangement or bonuses or something going on. So think about this. If you've got employees working, I think the statistics shows you need to do something for them. If some of your employees are working on Memorial Day, but not all, you should strongly consider some type of payment incentive for the workers who still need to clock in. If your business falls in the 10% of organizations that treat holidays as normal work days, incentive payment plans may not be necessary, but I would still suggest that you do it, okay? So how do you treat employees? Okay, how do you treat them? Maybe you're employing people. Let's see, did you change the logo on your tea mug? No, I have a couple of these. I have a couple different ones. I have two different ones, and they say two different things on them. So you're going to see different mugs pop up here. And my sayings for the day. The other one says, kind of get stuff done. I just got to watch my language on here, okay, because of YouTube. This is a clean channel. Anybody can watch it. It's not made for kids, though, okay? You don't want to do that because then you get demonetized. We don't want that. All right, so here's the first thing I would tell you. Provide a payment incentive if possible. If you guys can afford it, share with your employees. They really do appreciate it. Both studies indicated that the large majority of companies require employees to work on holidays provide some kind of financial incentive for their time. If your business is financially stable, if you've got the money, like I said, okay, and you can handle paying your workers a little extra on a holiday, you should strongly consider doing that. I do, okay? I think it's very important. Not only can it work as a thank you to your staff, it provides a little extra incentive for employees to clock in on that holiday, okay? They're going to feel a little bit better about working. While double time may be a stretch, okay, maybe you can't double it, right? There are other payment options like time and a half or overtime pay or separate payment arrangement, a bonus, something you could do for them. Number two, this is a big one, and I don't see people say this enough. Say thank you. Say thank you. I have a bunch of employees in different countries and in the US, and I always make it a point to say thank you because I owe it to them. I wouldn't have a business without these people. I really wouldn't. I couldn't make it happen. If you like holidays, check out Braveria. What is Braveria, James? Put that in that chat section. I want to know what that is. I'm interested in that. So, think of a thank you as a gesture of good faith. Since your employees are employed by you and are obligated to show up when scheduled, but show a thanks goes a long way in boosting morale and communicating appreciation. The most productive workers are those who feel valued at work. I read a study one time, and the number one reason people quit their job is not because of the job and not because of pay, it's because of their boss. The number one reason they quit their job, okay? How are you treating people? Are you treating them fairly? This doesn't mean you got to be a pushover and let everybody get over on you and them not working and, you know, still getting the pay. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you got to be kind and understanding and be thankful to these people. No one wants to work on a holiday because it's a holiday, right? You know, I got up today, I'm like, it's a holiday, you know? Nobody wants to work. I do a lot of things I don't want to do because I know it's necessary. I knew some of you would be here. And if I didn't show up, you'd be like, what the heck, right? So, I mean, I got to be here. But thanking your employees, you're showing that you value their willingness to go above and beyond expectations. Number three, I'm going to tell you, number three, I like this one a lot. Let me take a sip before I say it. A sip before I say it. And we're getting ahead. So, guys, don't forget to put your questions in that chat section. Now, you may be listening, and it may not be live. If it's not live, then you can put your questions in the comment section. There won't be a comment section right now. We only have a chat section. But I know a lot of you guys go into the comment section afterwards and you send me nice messages. I so appreciate it. You put questions in there. You talk about things you've accomplished. I love hearing that. I love hearing accomplishments. I do hear a lot of problems too, and that's okay because we're here to solve problems, but your accomplishments mean a lot. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. I know I got to click it. You know, somebody put on one of my videos yesterday, as soon as you rang the bell, I subscribed and I clicked notifications. I thought that was interesting, but I wonder how many people don't because I ring the bell. You know, that's kind of interesting. Do you like the bell? Do you not like the bell? Put it in the chat section. I don't know. I started it. I thought it was neat. You know, kind of gets your attention a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe people like it. Maybe they don't like it. All right, the last one. Be reasonable with your employees about productivity. Be reasonable, okay? Don't expect, oh, it's a holiday, they're going to do everything they always should. You know what? They may be a little bit lax. It may happen. All right, I've got some explaining here. In here, James says, München Stadt, home of Oktoberfest, Bavaria. Okay, so that is the holiday he were talking about. Richard Brown says, as in B for BMW. I thought that was British Motor Works. I thought B was British Motor Works. I could be wrong. Richard Brown says, keep the bell. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Well, I got 2 votes now. I got the person who subscribed and said something, and then I got Richard. You know, that's enough to keep me going, right? It's enough. So anyhow, be reasonable about productivity. Depending on the type of business you have and what you're doing, it's important to be reasonable with your workers about exactly what they're going to get done on a holiday. If it's a busy time for your business, like let's say they're working at Best Buy, which is a big, you know, electronics retailer here in the U.S., it's important to set expectations. If it's not a busy time, but you still need a few employees on site, it's equally important to manage expectations and prioritize important projects over maximum productivity. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? James says, hey, I almost didn't show up, so wound up in the Memorial Day. Okay. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. It means a lot. South Germany. Okay. And you know, guys, I do want to reiterate what I said in the beginning. You don't have to do what everybody else does. I think it's important to get in your brain this one thing. If you do what everybody else does, you will have what everybody else has. Let me repeat this. If you do what everybody else does, you will have what everybody else has. Now, is that 100% equal? No. But if you are working a 40-hour week and you take off weekends and nights and you do this every single week and you do this for 30 or 40 years, you're going to have what the average person has, because that's what the average person does. I heard Elon Musk on an interview, and you know, that's the other end of the spectrum. He works 7 days a week. He works 16-hour days. He does this every single day. Okay, that's the other end of the spectrum. You're not required to do that. But look at the results of him doing that. He's got a lot, okay? He's accomplished a lot. He's created a lot. He's done a lot. I use him a lot for examples. And I'm doing a video this week. You don't want to miss it. I'm doing one on Gary V. And the history of Gary V. And I think that's scheduled for Saturday, but you got to look at my schedule. That's a really interesting video. I think you're going to like that one. It's a live one, but it's pretty amazing what he's done. Because he based everything on the grind and working real hard and all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean you have to do what everybody else does. But understand that if you do a little bit more than what the average person does, maybe you do work some nights, maybe you do work some weekends, maybe you do work harder when you do work, you know, maybe you put forth more effort, maybe you're more productive. If you do some of these things, you're going to get more. So what's important to you? And I'm not saying good or bad. You know, if you're working 20 hours a week, and you're getting to spend tons of time with your family, and you have enough money to eat, and you're happy, you won. You won. You did okay. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. However, you have no right to complain if you're working 40 hours a week and you're complaining about all the things you don't have because you've got time left over you're not using. Okay, so you've got no right to complain. Those are the people I have a problem with. The people who say, I'm not happy with my situation in life, but I'm not willing to do anything more. I mean, that's just insanity. You got to do more. Okay, that's why I'm doing more, because I'm not necessarily not happy, but there's other things I want. There's other things I need. There's other things I'm working towards. I feel an obligation to people on YouTube. I feel an obligation in my emails that I've got to get people information. I feel that obligation. I do. So I do extra things. Let's see what else we got in here. Got some good comments. Hey, I saw that one. Bayerischer Motoren Works or Bavarian Motor Works. I was wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. I thought it was British. So it's Bavarian. Okay, thank you. Best Buy is big and always busy in Savannah. Yeah, they're well. They're the last ones. I mean, Circuit City's gone. I don't know if any of you guys remember Circuit City. If you do, put it in the chat section there. If you remember Circuit City, but they were a huge retailer, and they went down. Best Buy is it. I mean, where do you go to buy electronics? We had Fry Electronics in San Diego. They were huge stores. I mean, huge stores. They all went out of business. So, electronics, being able to go and get electronics now is difficult. And still, and I don't want to get sidetracked, but if you go into a Best Buy and you want to buy electronics now, they don't have a lot on display. There's not a lot there. They don't stock a lot in the stores anymore. The appliance section looked pretty good, but as far as the stores themselves, they just didn't stock a lot. That's an interesting thing, though. What's going to happen with electronics? So, guys, that's what I will have for you today. The other thing I'm going to tell you, I think the thing that really eats people up is worry. And I want to give you something to worry. And I can't remember who it was that said this quote. This is not my quote, but I thought it was very interesting. But it went something like this. If it can be fixed, there's no need to worry. Okay? If it cannot be fixed, worrying won't help. Stop worrying. I think worry is one of the biggest emotional killers we have. Worry eats up our brains constantly. And the fact is, if you can do something about it, just go ahead and do it. Don't worry about it. And if you can't do anything about it, there's no point in worrying about it. There's nothing you can do. And I brought this up before, and I think it really bears saying today on a holiday when we're all worried. And the other thing I would tell you is whatever decision that you make to do today, whether it's to work or not work, or work a half a day or work a whole day. I'm going to work part of the day. I'm going to do some ribs today, so that's going to take me some time. But the point is, whatever you do is okay. The problem that people have is, let's say they take off on Memorial Day and they're at home with their family and they're doing a cookout and they're sitting there thinking, God, I should have gone into work today. There's so much stuff I need to get done. I'm sitting here doing this barbecue. I really should be working. And they're not enjoying their moment. If you made that decision to not work, don't think about it. Okay? And the other thing is, they will go to work and they're like, I'm here at work and I'm doing all this hard work and I should be home with my family. I should be doing a cookout. They're not really into the work. They're not really bought into their own decision. Whatever decision you make, it's right. Okay? I'm going to tell you, whatever decision you make, it's right because you made it. You decided to do it based on the facts you had, based on what you wanted to do, based on what you didn't want to do. Let yourself enjoy the moment, whatever it is. If you're at work, enjoy your work, okay? If you're off and you're doing what you want to do, barbecuing or whatever, enjoy that moment. Enjoy whatever it is, okay? It's okay. I'm giving you permission. It's okay. Stop the worry all the time. Stop the mind shift back and forth. I'm at work, or I should be at home. I'm at home, I should be at work. Stop that mind shift. It's exhausting, okay? Just enjoy your time. All right, let me see here. What else we got? Elon Musk Starlink is in beta testing worldwide. Yeah, I saw that, and I was going to do it, James, and I compared the price of Starlink versus what I was paying, and Starlink costs more, and their bandwidth was not as good. And I love Elon Musk, I love all his products, but hey, if he doesn't have a product that's as good as everything else, now it may be cheaper on down the road once he gets more people on it. Hey, JR, remember Crazy Eddie's Electronics? That's New York, isn't it? I think so, James. Crazy Eddie was New York. Let me look that up here. Crazy Eddie's. Crazy Eddie's Electronics. Let's see. Crazy Eddie. And if you don't know who Crazy Eddie is, there he is. There's Crazy Eddie. Okay. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Crazy Eddie nephew stole $794,000 to fund gambling trips. Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good. Insane Crazy Eddie. He was something else. 212 East 57th Street. Yeah, that's got to be New York, right? That's Crazy Eddie right there. I remember him. Guys, if you were ever in New York, or you know anything about New York, you know about Crazy Eddie. Interesting guy. This does not look good here. Crazy Eddie Electronics chain kingpin with insane prices. It looks like you got in some trouble here. I don't know. I haven't read the article, but I see the man in handcuffs. So that doesn't look good for Crazy Eddie. Do you know about that, James? Do you know about him being arrested? Apparently that happened. Let me get another sip here because we're winding down. We're winding down, guys. And do you have plans today? Are you working or are you not working? I didn't even ask you. Put that in the chat section. Tell me if you're working and why you're working. And tell me if you're taking off and why you're taking off. Maybe you're working half a day. I think I'm probably going to work half a day. I think so. I think that's what I'll probably do. I don't know yet. It depends. I mean, see, it's funny. Sometimes I'll get into a project, like I'm working on a sales page or something like that. And I'll say, well, I'm going to work on this for about 10, 15 minutes. And I'm there 2 hours later because I keep adding things to it and finding new stuff. And it's kind of enjoyable and it's fun to me. I enjoy what I do. I like what I do. I don't dislike. I like talking to you guys. I like having you here. I like, helping you guys out. I really, truly enjoy that. So that's one thing. If you can find what you like doing, it doesn't seem like work. I talk and type. Really, I talk and type for a living. How hard is that? I'm not up on top of a roof in 100-degree weather, just sliding tar across somebody's roof. I mean, that's hard work. Those are the people I respect. Those are hard workers. Let's see, don't go Starlink for at least 18 months. Elon needs to launch more satellites. I totally agree, and I think I'm in that mode right there. Learning Doodle Maker. Doodle Maker. Yeah, I did that Doodle Maker stuff, Richard, and I want to say 2013. And every one I did got fewer views and less results than not doing that. Now, I'm not saying it won't work for you. I'm just saying when I beta tested it, it did not work for me. And I had a bunch of doodle videos and stuff. None of them worked. None of them worked. I could have done it wrong. I could have had it to the wrong audience. I could have marketed it wrong. There could be a lot of reasons for it. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. And then I think, and I try not to do this, but then I think, what would I do? Would I watch a doodle video? And I don't watch doodle videos. Not that you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it doesn't work for me. Whatever. But I'm working here on Memorial Day, and some people don't. So I'm one piece of a puzzle that's pretty darn big. James Breen, Crazy Eddie's in the jailhouse now. Wow, he is. Why? Now I've got to search this. If you don't tell me why, I've got to search that. I've got to go read that article. That's going to take time out of my day. Look what you did to me, James. It's okay. I appreciate it. It's actually pretty interesting. I like looking at stuff like that. So guys, I think we've had a good session today. You know what I'm doing. I want to know what you're doing. Even if you're watching this video and it's no longer live, put it in the comment section. What do you think about working on Memorial Day? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? What's your opinion? What did you do on Memorial Day? I want to hear what you did. I'm sure there's some interesting stories, some interesting things that people did. So yeah, I'd like to hear about it. I'll let you know how I get on with the doodles. Okay, yeah, cool. I'd be interested in that. I really would. And what do you use them for too? I'd like to see what you're using them for. I used them when I was selling like a membership to sell our survival food. And that may have been the wrong thing for it, but they watched a doodle video and then they could pay a certain amount and become a retailer of our products. And that was something I did. I don't charge for it anymore, but back then I did. And it didn't work, but that's okay. I have 80% of the things I don't work. That 80% of the things that I do don't work anyhow. So I'm okay with that. I know this. Every time something fails, I'm that much closer to success. And I'm dead serious about that. So if you take that 80%, that is like 4 out of 5, like 4 out of 5 things. So if I get 3 things that fail, I know I'm really close to the 5th thing, right? I only get one more thing and then I'm there. And that's pretty much how it works. I mean, it really, really works that way. Kind of interesting. James says you're a maverick. Okay, I'm a maverick. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you, want to help you out. So put your comments in the comment section, chat section, depending on if you're live or not. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Ringing the bell means a lot because that will tell you every time I go live or if I upload a video. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all you do for me. You do a lot just by being here. I really do appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to probably get some work done, but I'm also going to work on those ribs. I'll let you know how they come out. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later.